Well, our hoop stretchers are dried pretty nicely. Fuck, that is solid too. Oh yeah, no, that's good. Don't take long to dry in this weather anyways. She's pretty warm out of summer weather, almost too damn warm, huh? So now we got some hooks made here. Dad's making some hooks. So we're gonna do 2 beaver on these stretchers here and try it out. And I said what I said earlier, I've never done this before, so this is a first. It can't be that hard. Like how hard could it be to fucking wire a pelt onto here or rope it on or however, huh? So it'll be nice to know how to do once it's done. You know, it's pretty cool to be able to make a hoop stretcher and stretch a beaver with it, huh? So that'll definitely be good for working out in the field. You know, if you had a camp set up somewhere and okay, well, you shoot a beaver, field dress them, well, you want to dry them instead of bringing it back, you can do it there. So that's kind of the point of this. That's another reason why I want to learn. Not only that, it's cool as hell, huh? So for any of you guys that have actually done this before, the hoop stretcher, like I said, this is a first, so any advice you got would be greatly appreciated. Just leave one in the comments. I read all the comments. I try to reply to most of them, but you know, I can't reply to them all. There's just too many. So I'm looking for tips, guys, so give me some tips. Make this easier for me.
These are the hooks I think we were making. This is kind of what you had in mind, right? About 10 inches long.
That should do her, I think, huh?
So I've just been taking them, I just shortcut them on a bit of an angle on the end there. And then just so they're a little sharper to go through the hide. And I'm going to just give her a little bend on the end like that. A little bit like that, a little bit like that. And that's pretty much it. There you go. So that'll go through the hide, I think, fairly easy, and then pull it tight, and then give it a wrap around the hoop, right?
I think so, yeah.
So, and there's about, you said you want 50 or so? I think there's closer to 70 there.
I'm just trying to think of how many nails we put in a beaver pelt on a nail board, huh? I think we're going to need more than 50 per pelt, but I don't know. Anyways, we'll just start with what we got, and we could always make more, I guess, huh?
You can make all you want.
Okay, we can make more, huh? Yeah. So anyways, we're going to start here right away. We'll get these beaver on these hoop stretchers, and we'll just see how this goes. I'm assuming it will be a little bit harder to get the form than you would put on a beaver board, but I don't know. Like I said, I've never done this before, so this is a first. This is a learning experience, but I am pretty confident it's gonna turn out fucking 100%, no problem. So we're gonna find out right now, guys. Pop that first hook through there, and it actually just went pretty easy. So the video that I did see there, start with the 4 corners. So that's what we'll do here. And then snug it up and go from there, I guess. I don't know exactly how far back we want to go. Maybe keep it back a bit anyways. See? Fuck, I went through there like fuck all. I guess we got to keep all our wire on one side so the pelt doesn't. So either underneath or over top, huh? See what I mean?
Yeah, I think you probably want to go under so you can just fold them up to stretch them.
Yeah. Okay, start.
Snug.
Yeah.
So, do you think that's tight enough?
I don't know. We should have started from the front first.
Or should we do the ends first then?
Let's do the ends here first. Okay, let's go right there.
Okay.
Just fold it over.
Start like that.
I think you got to keep it. Though you don't want to pull it tight, I don't think. The video I seen, the guy said keep it slack a little bit on the first 4. Shit, my hook keeps falling out. So just like that. I guess, huh?
That's slack
good.
enough?
Huh?
Slack enough?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe not enough, I don't know.
Yeah, you can adjust them after.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like it's about right. So we got our 4 on there, as you see here. The video I seen, they said to keep it fairly slack, the first 4. So that's what we kind of did here. And then go across and then just go from there. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll just see how that works. If it don't work out too good that way, we could always slack off our wires. You see, this is a pretty heavy wire that I use for wolf snares. So if we do have to slack it off, just bend it and just put another bend in it. So this should work pretty good. Okay, the first attempt. Not quite done yet though. Now you see here, when I folded the wire over, did not even think about scraping the inside, huh? So on the next one, I'm gonna put the wire on the first side. So it is looking pretty good though. So yeah, so I'm gonna have a hard time. You know, this is even good. This will dry like this. You get most of the fat off it. And like they say, it's better to have more on than too little. That's scraping wise. If you scrape too much off, that's no too good. Because remember, this still has to get tanned, huh? So I'll clean this up here just a little bit, and a few other places I got to put some wire in it. This is a heavy wire. The smaller wire here also works good too. So I'll try this. So, and remember now, this is the first learning one, so this is the learning process. I'm sure after I do a few, they'll look a lot more professional and a hell of a lot nicer than this. So there it is, the first attempt to put a beaver on a hoop stretcher, and I must say it turned out really nice. It definitely was a learning experience, I'll tell you. At first it was a little bit too tight, so we had to slack it off a little bit a couple times. We pull it, like, see this hole here, this one here is a little bit, it was starting to stretch and a couple of them ripped out. So here, I'll show you on the back side here. So anyways, from this side here, it just looks pretty damn good, huh? You see it's not perfectly oval shaped like a beaver pelt, but like I said, this is the first time ever. Look on the back side here. So that's how she looks on this side. Like I said, what I did wrong here, I should have put my wires, I should have flipped them over on the first side, so I could have scraped this a little bit more. Like, I'll scrape a little bit of this here off, you know, that it'll dry, that's fuck all really. But anyways, I think she turned out pretty good. What I did for the legs here, I just pinched them shut. I'll probably trim those off later. Just use a piece of wire, pinched them shut. On the bottom part here, I just used 3 pieces of wire, made my holes, and popped the wire in and closed the legs shut. So I think that should be good, you know, either that or sew them shut, but I don't got my good needle and thread here, of course. So I thought it turned out pretty good for a first attempt anyways. The hoop stretcher, it actually turned out a lot better and went a lot smoother than I thought. So, like I said, she was a good learning experience. So when I do the next one here, now I know, when I do my first 4 hooks on it, slack it off, keep it fairly slack, not too tight. And I'm also going to use, you see I used a lot of smaller hay wire. So instead of using this big huge heavy wire and making big holes in it, I'll do my 4 or 6 big wires, and then I'm going to go with all small hay wire. I'll use smaller wire. It's a lot easier to work with and a lot more flexible, and it should be strong enough to dry that pelt. So, okay guys, I'm going to go do another one here, and then this one here will be a bit different than this one. I'm sure it will look a lot better as well. So, let's try this again. This is the second round, beaver on a hoop stretcher. Right on, man. Gotta love the learning experience, huh? Been a good day so far. All I'm doing here, I'm just prepping a bunch of hooks here, a bunch of smaller ones. So I'll make a bunch more, and then once I start this beaver here, I'll just get her on that hoop, hopefully fairly quickly. So I should have counted on the last one how many hooks I put on it, but you know, I'll probably need around 50 per pelt. But like I said, I'll count on the next one here, so I'll make at least 50 or 60, maybe 100 for starters, and then once I start, boom, 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 done. That's the plan. So, as I'm doing the second beaver here, I'll get the second one on the hoop, try this again. Dad's gonna knee flesh a little bit left on the other beaver, so by the time I'm done this one, he'll have that one done well beforehand. Boom, boom, knock all 4 of them off, and hopefully get on go out for a hunt tonight. We'll just see, so better get back to work, guys. I got my second beaver pelt done. Now you see here what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to make a stretcher, a bunch of different sizes stretcher, because I had to use a lot of wire on that one. And I think with a loop stretcher the same size as a pelt would be easier to get the natural form, the oval form for the beaver. As you can see, this one here is a little bit cockeyed on one side, but still looks pretty good. So yeah. So what I'll probably do here, I'll probably make a couple more stretchers, make some smaller ones. That one turned out pretty good. So I scraped most of that off it. You know, that'll dry nicely. And again, I did the same thing as I did on that one. I just pegged the leg shut. Now this one here had a big gash in it there, so I just kind of stitched it with wire. That'll keep it from fucking spreading open. So that should be pretty good. So I got 2 more left to do now. So I'll get the other 2 done here, and like this one here, the first one here, this is already fucking drying nicely. You see, once they start drying, they got that color kind of starts changing to them, huh? So tomorrow, I'll scrape it a little bit more, and I'll probably wipe it down, but there's not a whole lot of grease rendering off that one. This one here is pretty good. So I could already tell that they're drying them a lot quicker hanging with the wind blowing on them than opposed to a board stretcher. So, you know, a few of these and I should be able to get them bang on once I figure it out good. Should be just as good as a board stretcher. I mean, shape wise, you know, I was always usually pretty picky with my board stretchers. I always like to have them perfectly round. So like these here, they kind of look like an amateur did them, but I guess I am an amateur doing it this way. But yeah, it kind of looks like the first time I did a beaver pelt on a board stretcher, but you know, that's all right. This is all part of the learning process. You know, you ain't gonna hit it bang on the very first time, you know, we all know that. Okay, there's the last one there, you know, and it's starting to get easier to make the form. Like this was a bigger stretcher, so it was quite a bit easier to get the oval beaver loop to it. So we'll start from the very beginning one. There's our first one. Kind of square, circly looking. That one there is pretty good, a little cockeyed on one side. And then the third one is getting better. That's pretty fucking good, man. So I got one left to do here. Get that one done, and be fucking time to watch the sunset, guys. Come on, my boy.
Good shot.
Yeah, we were just finishing up our last beaver there, just about done, and the goose came over.
Oh, he's bringing a decoy too.
Oh, is he? Oh, fuck, he must have her. So we're doing our beaver there, the last one of the night, and the geese just started moving. One flew over. I didn't get here in time. They were gone. They were just cruising. Went back a couple minutes later, another one coming over. So got him. He was just coming into the decoys. He circled around, came back in, and dropped him in the pond there. So the beaver retriever went out to grab him. That was good. That's 2 ducks and just in camp here. You know, those decoys are pretty damn good, man. They're sure the geese sure do like them. They sure do bring them in. A few of them go by, but a few do come in. Oh shit! Fucking booter!
Yeah, lots of water. You better go get your dog. I think he brought a decoy with him too.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Retrieve a goose and a decoy.
Oh, for sure. Come here, Charlie boy. Come on, Charlie. Come here. Good job. Come on.
You might be tangled in that decoy.
No, he's coming.
Oh.
Bring him here, my boy. Good job, Charlie. Good job. What time is it again? 10 after 9 and the ducks are flying again.
One more time, yeah.
It was 9:20, huh?
Yeah, Soul got a mouthful of feathers.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Charlie. Bring him here. Just about finished the beaver. Just thought the day was done.
Well,
Come on, my boy.
he's taking him to the plucking table for you.
Oh, that's good. Come on, Charlie. Trying to get him to come into the camera. There we go. Goose number 2. He was still alive. I guess Charlie. Hey, he's dead, my boy. Another nice big Canadian. This one looks bigger than the last one, huh? I wrung his neck. His neck's broken right off. He's just kicking. Good job, Charlie.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get them. They're just one goose, too.
Oh, no, for sure.
So leave the pairs, eh?
Oh, it's nice to see.
Excellent.
So tomorrow we're going to have to get our decoys out and do a bit of...
Put that dog to work.
do some bird hunting, huh? Hey! Enough. What are you chewing on, Charlie? Can I teach you anything? Another nice big Canadian. So that's 2 now. 2 from camp. 1 more. It's time to fire up the smoker. So that's it. With all the beaver on the hoop stretchers done. You know, this was good. I had fun today figuring this out and playing around with the hoop stretchers a bit. I know one thing though, I'll be making different sizes now for each stretcher here. Like this beaver here on the end, that's a pretty big beaver. You won't get too many bigger than that, so that stretcher is pretty wide, so I'm going to try and make them a little bit narrower, and once they get the form, a good form, then you'll take the size of your beaver, you know, small, large, medium, and make small, large, medium stretchers, and it'll make it a lot easier. I want to try and make them more oval shaped. Like these stretchers are pretty crude. We slopped them together in no time, but now that I know it's fairly easy to do, I'm going to take a little bit more time making some nice stretchers in different sizes, and I'm going to carry on with the hoop stretching. I like it, and it didn't take too long to do a beaver. Probably once you get all your hooks made and everything, probably the same as nailing them on a board. So not only that, they look pretty damn cool, huh? So anyways, guys, I want you guys to let me know any tips or any quicker ways to do things, how you do it, if you'd stretch beaver on the hoop stretchers. I want to hear about it. Tell me how I could do things better, tips, tricks, quicker ways to do it. How do you tie the legs shut? Do you sew them? Do you leave them open? I want to know all that, so let me know, and I'll get back to you on that. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go pluck my duck now and throw them on ice and relax. It is 9:30 p.m. right now. Talk to you guys tomorrow.